Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
that's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care,
we can do more. We can achieve more.
We can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Robert Chappell, Executive Editor of Madison365, with your daily update for today, Tuesday, June 8th. It is hot out. I hope you're staying cool. We'll get right to the news, especially on the coronavirus situation today. Is actually looking pretty good. It is, as it has been, for the past couple of weeks. It's we're still seeing relatively low testing numbers, 1,400 new results today, of which 168 are positive. So we're back up to like 12% of all the new results are positive, which is where, that's not bad. The better number, though, to look at is the positive test rate, which is all tests in the past 7 days, including, repeat tests and people who are getting tested multiple times a week. That has ticked up just slightly to 1.4%, which I'm not concerned about that going up. Yesterday it was 1.3 again, but that also included the entirety of a holiday, basically. Memorial Day was 7 days prior to yesterday. So there's a whole period of time in that 7 days where the testing was really, really low. And so you kind of expect all numbers to be slightly down. The percentage shouldn't be really affected by that, but it is. So we kind of expected it to tick back up slightly. 1.4 is still great. I mentioned on the It's Only 10 Minutes podcast this morning that a year ago now, when we were talking about schools, remember last spring, all the schools statewide closed in March. And then we're trying to figure out how to, can kids go to school next fall, in fall 2020. And I was talking to AJ Sethi, the epidemiologist at UW Madison, and he said if we had community spread such that the positive test rate was between 1% and 2%, he'd be comfortable opening schools completely. So to me, that means that people who know a lot about this, 1.4% is great. And we have very little to worry about right now. Now, that doesn't mean that it's over by any stretch. We were in this same range a year ago, like in June last year. We were in the 2% range for most of June last year, and we saw what happened after that. Now, back then, we didn't have half the population vaccinated, right? And we do now. So ideally, whatever happened in July last year where things started to go up won't happen again this year because we have just so much more vaccination happening. But the main point here is that 1.4% is great. I think that I feel comfortable being out and about in that. I think it's just not a lot of virus floating around in Wisconsin right now. There is a lot of virus in some other places in the world. So again, this is a pandemic, global. We're not out of it until all of us are out of it. And I mean all of us meaning the entire globe. Right? As long as there's some of this virus out of control somewhere, there could be a variant that's vaccine resistant. It could, there's talk that we're going to have to get booster shots. Right? So it's possible that a year or two from now, if we don't eradicate this thing completely across the globe, it could come back in 2 years after all of our vaccines have worn off. So it's not a time to let our guard down. It's not a time to be like, whoo, we made it. Good job, everybody. We're through it. We're not quite there yet. But I feel like it's okay to be out and be social. And that is, it feels good. It feels weird. It's a little unsettling, right? Keep a mask in your pocket because there are some places indoors that still require masks. I was downtown today. I was at the office and I had to, as reporters often do, I had to stop by the courthouse to look at some records for a story. And the county buildings all still require masks until July 6th, which is perfectly within their rights to do so. The Dane County doesn't have an indoor mask mandate, but the county government buildings do require masks indoors, which is fine. So just have a mask in your pocket when you're out and about. But other than that, it's we can kind of breathe a little bit. Not saying it's your guard down. Not saying, and nobody's going to say, I told you so. I told you it was fine. Everything's going to be fine, because it hasn't been fine. Right? The fact that we can take masks off now doesn't mean the anti-maskers were right. Right? I think there's some small contingent of people who still want to keep masks on because they feel like taking the mask off is somehow admitting they were wrong about masks, and that's not the case at all. Like, you were right to have a mask on until now. You were right to keep your distance until now. And you're still right if you want to put a mask on. It's still totally your right. If wearing a mask makes you feel comfortable, then you are absolutely right to put it on. But it's also right that you can take it off safely at this point if you are vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. So let's talk a couple more numbers here. We are reporting 17 more fatalities today. Again, this has been going on for like 10 days. We've been having double-digit deaths reported every day. These are not happening right now. The state is actually reporting right now only 2 deaths per day on average. Today 4. They're reporting 8 new confirmed deaths yesterday for a 7-day average of 4, but that's 8 that were in the last 30 days. So the 17 we're reporting today, so they're reporting 8 new fatalities in the past 30 days, but the total death count went up by 17, which means they're also adding in 9 deaths that occurred more than 30 days ago and were just never confirmed or reported correctly. Okay, so these are actual human beings. Let's not reduce them completely to numbers, but that's where those numbers come from. And so it looks like there's a lot of old database cleanup, basically, that's happening. And it is vaccines have ticked up a little bit. Remember, the last couple of days, as of Friday, we were down to about 10,000 doses given per day. But Stephanie, my wife and our data person, reminded me that 7-day average on Friday of last week included Memorial Day weekend when nobody was getting vaccinated at all. There were like literally hundreds of vaccines given in a 3-day period. So the fact that that's coming back up is to be expected, but it's also good, right? We're almost 14,000 shots per day in the past 7 days. So it seems like some sizable number of people decided, I'm going to just get it after Memorial Day weekend. So that's great. And again, that's statewide. Dane County is dang near done, you guys. I mean, 67% have gotten 1 shot, and just under 60% have completed. But if you consider that's percentage of the entire population, and there's a sizable portion of the population, like the largest age cohort of Dane County residents is like children under the age of 12 or children under the age of 18, I guess. So there's a sizable contingent of people who can't get vaccinated. And there's another sizable chunk, kids age 12 to 15, who weren't eligible to get vaccinated until just a few weeks ago. So a lot of them have gotten their first shot and are still waiting on the second, right? So Dane County is doing great. Milwaukee County is quite a bit behind that. Milwaukee County is at about 40% completed, and 46% have gotten 1 shot. And then in the state of Wisconsin, we are at 48.6 have gotten 1 shot, and 43.2% have completed. In pure numbers, that's 2.83 million of us have gotten at least 1 shot, and about 2.5 million, a little over 2.5 million, are complete. That's out of about 5.8 million people in the state. So we got a long way to go if we want to get to herd immunity. I don't think it's going to happen. Certainly not. But literally by the time we get to herd immunity, by the time we get to 80%, everybody who got it earlier is going to need a booster. So it's just kind of keep going. Just fine. It's going to become a thing that just lives with us that we just have to deal with all the time. It's going to be like flu or something, where there's just a few severe cases every fall and winter. And in the meantime, we'll just keep trying to keep up with vaccines and stuff. So overall, good situation, good news, good numbers. And we will take a short pause, and we will be back right after this word from Madison College. We have some good, really fun local news as well as some national news for you right after this. Do not go away. All right, we're back. And today on the site, this morning, we have a profile of the top prize winner from the CEOs of Tomorrow Teen Pitch Contest. Now, CEOs of Tomorrow, if you don't know, we've been covering this since we started, really. It's a program that happens during the school year and then in the summer for kids to be entrepreneurial and to learn business and to learn social responsibility. When you're younger, our younger son did this last summer virtually. And when you're in that sort of third, fourth, fifth grade age, well, he is, they basically, you choose a business, they give you a business to do. We made so many gummy bears last summer. He was a gummy bear manufacturing business, right? And you choose a social cause to donate your proceeds to, or a portion of your proceeds. And when you're older, when you're in like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, you actually create a business of your own. You have an idea and you do it. And this is the owner of the winning business. This is Alina Hancock-Jamay. And her business was called Inspiration to Health. And it's meant to help people overcome obesity. And all it is, it's a very simple idea. And some of the best ideas are very simple. She created a health box. For $12, you get a health box, which has a resistance band, a stress ball, and a water bottle. That's it. A lot of obesity is tied to stress, tied to lack of exercise. And she just feels like, if you're trying to make a big change in your life, it's hard. It's easy to take that first step when the first step is really small like that. Just to get this box, you get your stress ball, you get your resistance band, you can stay hydrated. So it's a really clever idea. She's donating 10% of the proceeds to an obesity-related Wisconsin Obesity Prevention Initiative, and has some more ideas to expand the business. So it's a fun profile. Angelica Ustry has that profile, where they have several winners in these things, several prize winners in the pitch contest. So we're going to have more profiles of some of these really clever kids in a couple of over the next week or two. I should also mention Nabil Hamdan, who we've profiled a few times. He started his business, Bamboo World, as a CEOs of Tomorrow pitch, and now he's like making his living at it. And he was on the Today Show, like featured as a teen entrepreneur. It's just fabulous. Dr. Roxy Hintz does a terrific job with that program. We're going to turn to national news now, where the Biden administration's task force on reunification of families its work is underway. They're preparing at this moment, and I think they've already started. They got the first couple. I've seen some photos on social media of the first few reunifications of families. These are families that were separated under the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy for immigration over between 2017 and 2020. So like over a 3 or 4 year period. And a variety of federal agencies have created a task force to try to put these people back together with their families. And there's 29 of them that are like ready right now to be reunified in the very near future. Also today on the site from CNN is this analysis of corporate boards. We talked a little bit about corporate boards last week. That corporate America has been talking for a long, long time about trying to get more diverse, but the boards are still mostly white. And when you talk about diversity, going back a long time, women have been sort of lumped in with diversity, which makes sense in a way because you're talking about people who are marginalized or systematically held down based on an intrinsic trait of their identity, which gender, but the issues that are faced between white women and people of color are just kind of different in a lot of ways. So it's what this analysis finds. This is a study from the Alliance for Board Diversity that white women are making more gains than people of color, which I guess is kind of makes sense. But anyway, this is a good analysis. I would suggest you give it a look, and we have that again from CNN. So that is all the news I have for you today. I'm working on a few things. I've got a few things cooking, and the team is cooking up some really good stories for the next few days. So stay tuned. Come back tomorrow. We will be. We'll have the It's Only 10 Minutes podcast tomorrow morning. We'll have a new Finding the Warmth of Our Sun episode tomorrow morning, and we'll have Griselda Alderte from Aligned Energy as the guest on Real Talk with Henry Sanders on Thursday. So look out for those wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening. Stay cool, and we'll see you again real soon.
This is 365 Media.